nice.
Can I tell you, go out and put there. 2 glasses in the fridge, grab that.
Freezer? Yeah.
Over there, the red and the brown. Grab the 2 brown ones.
Yeah, I think I'll give it.
You grab the glasses.
Glasses are right there.
Hey, good evening. Good evening. Monday night Pioneer Family Show brought to you by our good friends Gatorade Frost.
Very good. Very nice drink.
It's a good drink.
Yeah, it's very
It
good.
is a good drink. Good
Especially
evening.
if you worked out and then you need a little bit of a
Pick me upper.
pick-me-upper. Yeah. Very good. And so good to see you here, Ryan. You've been away a while, and we tried to connect when you were in Europe, visiting, top breeders, and we had a hard time, and now you're back. So very good. Very good.
Hey, welcome everyone. Hey, Mike Sheridan. Hey, from the Philippines. And I want to make sure that we're not getting double feedback. So let's make sure. Echo. I got rid of the echo. Everything we just said about the Gatorade and the welcoming back. So it was a double echo. So that's pretty good.
So we're going to rehearse that. Ryan, you had the Gatorade. It's good for you. Brings up a boost. But the other thing, too, is you're back. You were in Europe visiting. How many top-notch breeders would you say?
Always getting. I'm always getting screwy here.
You don't want to scare the public, Ryan.
Don't want to scare the public.
Okay, so how many top-notch breeders would you say you went to visit in the last, 3 weeks? You were over there?
I don't know, maybe 20.
20.
And I it's funny. Every time I go to these breeders, you go to the same breeder 3 times, 4 times, like in my years, 5 years of visiting.
Yes.
And still, either I'm learning from them, and how many of them are learning from our show that they enjoy. They watch the tours that we do.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. And the breeders really enjoy it. And it's so funny how many of these breeders don't go and visit other breeders. They stay in their own zone.
In that little shyness, whatever you may call it. But I know when I talk to different people on pigeon flying, I listen to what they say, and some of the stuff is not worth it to listen to, but you pick out the odd little thing, and you go, oh, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I got those birds in that crate, which drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's just driving me nuts right now.
Doesn't it drive you nuts?
Believe it or not, my ears
are burning.
But I have the real European earlobes.
You don't have.
They start vibrating like this. I know there's trouble.
Okay. So, anyways, I was at this man's place here.
My place?
No, right here. The guy on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Kurt Platteeuw. And some would say he's a very different kind of man, very hard-nosed pigeon man. In about the last 12 years, he skyrocketed to we're talking world record pigeon results in racing.
Can I ask you a question, Ryan?
And this is the gentleman.
What would you talk about in volume skyrocketing?
That's the best pigeon in Belgian history. right
so,
here.
So you're talking worlds. Like I'm talking what kind of, like we're talking about flying against 100 flyers or 1,000 or 1,500 or, well, I mean, what are we talking about flying against, Ryan?
We're talking about when you see that photo there.
Like world, like
we're talking about the best flyers in all Belgium, which is thousands and thousands of flyers. And I posted that photo up just so y'all could see it. And this man, I did the phone interview. We talked, got on really well. He invited me to come over for a coffee. We talked. And the ruthlessness of this man, he broke it down to, I need to fly the pigeons until the pigeon quits. He don't stop no pigeon. Broken flight. Came back a day before we go back to basket. He don't stop nothing. The train don't stop. And in Belgium, this man's very well hated because of the style that he flies. These people cannot, and I mean cannot, touch him. His old birds, his yearlings, and 2-year-olds, and 3-year-olds, and 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds, and 6-year-olds, they fly 7,000 miles a year.
Wow. You know, in opening up the show tonight, first thing, I think we failed to, what would you say, acknowledge, invite the new interested people in this pigeon sport, racing pigeon sport. I'm inviting you to come out with any questions as simple as, what is a pigeon? And we will help to answer you.
It's a rat with
No.
wings.
So if you're tuning in and you're seeing us talk about, like Ryan said, this man is ruthless and this, and you don't understand, please ask us. We will help you. We will educate you to be involved in the pigeon sport, right? We want to help people.
Hey, there's Stan. Okay. Stan Caputo found our show today. Stan's a new guy flying in our one loft race this year.
Yeah, Stan. I was talking to Stan this afternoon, and he was talking about putting birds in the one loft race, and I told him exactly. You don't activate till we reach 100 miles, and there's roughly 30 tosses before the 100 miles comes, and they're all videoed. You see them live from 2 miles right up.
Look at this. Look at this on the bottom of that screen. We're adding more effects. The Pioneer Monday Night Family Show. Look, guys, look now open. The Pioneer One Loft Race. We're accepting birds now. Now till June the 1st. Bring your young birds. And guys, we did this to see as a test. I want people to fly with bloody well numbers. And what does numbers mean? Don't bring 5. Don't bring 10. Don't bring 15. Bring 20, 25, 30. Give yourselves a chance. I'm going to tell you something. There's not one guy, one loft I've been to in Europe, that they can look at their little babies in the nest, and there's not one that can tell me this one's going to be a national champion. It's not one. And you know what? I asked them all. You know what they said? If we could do this, we'd be better than God, wouldn't we? What would we be breeding all these pigeons for? Guys, you got to put pigeons into the races and get them tested. Why would you put them into the Pioneer One Loft race? Well, the number one reason is we are a race that shows you start to finish. We show you when the birds come in. We show you.
If I can stop you in your tracks there.
Well, I was on a
start,
roll.
Yes, start to finish. Start means
on the
landing board.
I'm not finished.
Explain
well,
start.
When you want to cut me off,
Go ahead. What's start?
Start simple. When the birds come in, once our first show starts for Pioneer One Loft, which is going to start here shortly, you guys will see your birds roughly every day of the week. like Richard said, from start,
That's
from the
what
first time
I'm
they
saying.
actually, from when they're in the aviary settling, to they go out, they loft fly, they train, you follow the whole show from start to finish.
Including the droppings.
Including the droppings.
Oh,
We
yeah.
always check the droppings.
100%. Yeah.
And guys, that right there is perfect for you because you're so busy with your lives, you don't even have time to go and look at your own birds. But you know what? You can be sitting on the toilet in the morning. You can be laying in bed at night. You can put on our show because it runs 24 hours a day. It's always rebroadcasting itself. You can stay up to date what's going on with your pigeons. And by the way, by putting in a group of pigeons, you can play like your Mike Gannis's. You can play like him. You can have a small army. So you're going to battle with the right amount of pigeons. Because I promise, if you pick 5, your best one, most of the time, you'll leave home. Only for one person every year. Did you know that? Only one person or 2 people every year pick the right pigeon.
Last year we had a couple people.
No,
That
we
was
only had
amazing.
1 or 2 guys that picked
Yeah,
the right
two
pigeon.
people.
The 2 ace pigeons,
Yeah.
I say. Those were the 2 best. Out of 400 pigeons that came in, those 2 different men picked the right pigeon. And everyone else had some pretty good ones, some good ones, some not so good ones, some average ones, and some shit ones. And guys, all the pigeons are shit when they start. Everyone's at 0. And it's the pigeons that decide who are the champs, not us.
That's right. Yeah.
So guys, don't worry. Hold on, we got questions. Uh-oh. Hey, good evening, Sam. I got to call my buddy there in New Jersey. I'm going to call him tomorrow. Good evening from Cuba. What could it mean if a pigeon poop is liquid green? It's just
It means there's stress there. There's
it's finished.
Yeah.
It's
there's stress, and it could be, if a bird comes home from a race, and he does that, a race is very stressful, so he shows that. But young birds, even weaning them, or if they're not in good health, it shows the stress comes out.
I normally notice 99% of the time when the pigeons have that green liquid, it looks like you actually taken spinach, juiced it, blended it, and it comes out green and it like a puddle, like a little puddle.
Tap me on the back.
There.
Good.
When it comes out like that, within about 3 or 4 days, you're more likely it's either living or it's dead.
And you see them kind of hump down.
And I tell you,
droop shoulders.
Because we have endless amounts of replacement birds. You can replace up to June the 1st. I will not be playing around.
Mm-hmm.
When they look sideways, they're done. Their game is over.
You want to see that response. They should be response. Call them for feed, response. When you bring them over, there's always a couple 3 days. They show that, I'm away from my home, from my surroundings. They get depressed. And also, if I could say, before you bring them, please try and get them climatized to stress, to movement. Sit in a basket overnight in your garage, in your bedroom, in your basement. Sit them in the basket. Take them away from the environment. Move them around. Take them for a drive in your car, even if you're going to the friggin' post office.
And let's get dumber. The smallest little thing of stress is every day, even in the section. If you got them in the section, handle them every day. That little bit of stress.
There's stress.
Now, Alfonso, I am going to get here. I've got to find the right people in Mexico to go to Mexico. Next time, look into Mexico. We're flying 50,000 young pigeons, 640 kilometers, 1,100 yards, or 1,100, they fly 1,100 speeds, yards or meters, whatever it is.
A good working rate.
Good working race. 50,000 young pigeons in Mexico.
I'm going to clap my hands.
That's good.
Congratulations.
You know what? I think if I had to play, if I had to play anywhere in North America, I would go to Mexico because that looks pretty good.
And the other thing too is the Mexican people, they have a lot of heat there. Heat.
Mike Parrish, we are shipping. We're gonna do 2 more shipments for the U.S. You're gonna have to follow our page here for a post. I'm working on the post with the certificate. There are going to be 2 dates. I'm going to give everyone a week. Next week, I'll have the exact date for pickup. I'm thinking it's going to be around the week of April 23rd to 29th. That's what I'm thinking. Good evening. Yes, good evening, Mike. Give more details on how to fly 700 in a year.
700 what? Birds?
Do you have your phone with you?
I can go get it.
No, it's okay. Well, let's do the math.
I'll get.
No. I don't need your phone. Well, unless
I don't want to stand up. Do you want to know why? I still have my long underwear on. It could be embarrassing.
well, you know
I
what?
can get my phone.
We're gonna get into Mike's comment here in a second.
I'll get my phone. It'll take you about a second.
If you get your phone, bring in the 2 glasses. I'm gonna buy you a beer right from Belgium.
Yeah, where are they?
They're in this white freezer here. Watch when you open the door.
Okay, don't look, please, folks.
So we'll wait for Mike.
See?
You didn't lie about your red underwear. 30 or more pigeons from BC sending to you. 30 or more pigeons from Jason Mihalik. Hey, Jason, that's what we want to see. Good job, my friend. We shipped you those extra widowhood crates. The same way we shipped them is the same way you ship them back. Those crates there, you put about 7 in the top, 7 to 8 pigeons in the top. Please, just whatever you do, if you want to put feed in there, make some frozen feed cups. You don't have to, though, because it's WestJet. What am I thinking? This isn't like a 3-day post. This is the next day. Ship in the morning, pick up at night. Hopefully you enjoyed your pigeon that you received from us, Jason Mihalik. Have you worked on your loft? Oh, I'm always working on lofts, man. I'm busy with the lofts. I got sawdust in my eyes. I've been working so much. Kevin Burnett, good evening from Trinidad and Tobago. What's going on, my friend? Hey, Michael Walsh, my import looks great. Got my young birds vaccinated, sending you 6 next Monday. Hold on. Don't send them next Monday. Just hold on. Follow us along on when I tell you to send them. We had to make some adjustments on our date, so please hold off, Michael Walsh. I will make sure to private message you as well, so you don't send them. Good morning, sir. 1 pair of pigeons. I am a newbie, small fancier. I don't understand what your question is. Try that one again. Ah, yes.
He's a new flyer.
He's a new flyer. He didn't put in a full question. Now, if you could go, I could have your phone. If you could do me a favor.
You talking to me?
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah, what?
Is if you could go into that freezer and get the 2 brown bottles.
2 brown ones.
With the brown labels. This is a little treat I'm getting for you, Ricky. Okay, I wanted to take this off for a second. Hold on, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Whew. Okay, let's get back to the comments. And I have to discuss about Team Platteeuw.
750 or something.
Yeah, I wanted to just...
These things here aren't twisted.
No, get the brown ones, the 2 brown ones.
These are brown, right?
Brown labels, Ricky.
Brown. Okay. Beige.
Beige labels, brown labels, I don't know.
Rouge. Okay. Rouge.
I'm just doing some math here. Okay. So, getting back to Mike's question, I think I mispronounced that. But anyways, Team Platteeuw, they fly, it's 7,000 kilometers. I don't know why I was thinking in American, but kilometers. That's a lot of kilometers in a year. Miles is, I think, like 14.
So what is that? That's like.
How much is that in miles?
That's miles, like probably around 350 miles.
Hold on.
Miles.
How much is 7,000 kilometers in miles?
7,000?
Hold on.
Or 100?
4,000, so 4,500 miles.
Wow.
So
okay.
Mike asked the question, how does this man do it? And it's quite simple. They fly, pretty much they do the the sprint races to go up, and then it's all heavy middle distance.
Right.
Middle distance, middle
Yeah.
distance, middle distance racing.
Lucy, turn yourself around. Let the camera see you this way.
Doesn't she look good?
This is Lucy. As you know, she's been around for a few years now.
Oh,
Hey, Luce.
she's a good cat,
And
isn't she?
by
Hey,
the
Ryan,
way-
please tell us feeding in your loft. Feeding in my loft. Okay, what do you want me to tell you about feeding? We normally show the feeds or the feeding in our lofts. I was looking at shipping dates on Wind Companion. Yes, I'm sorry, Mike. We're gonna have to make an adjustment on that one. Hey, Gregory McFarland, nice to see you. Nice to see you. So you're suggesting to leave the dividers out of the crates? I think with young pigeons, I would. I like taking the dividers out. Either or you can do, but I would take them out. What's the correct weight for a racing pigeon?
God.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. We don't actually weigh the birds,
No, we don't.
but you know, I go by muscle texture, the body muscle texture. I don't go by physical weight. You know, a pigeon should be buoyant and have a muscular texture, like a feeling like, I always say, like a tall boy beer can, empty, should have that buoyancy, but that same kind of quirky feeling. I don't go by weight. If I go by weight, you're saying, oh, well, I got my pigeon in, he's going to fly this week, he weighs 3 pounds. I'm sorry, but that bird is not going to do it.
Everyone
You know,
that
anyone else got any opinion? Come on, let's go in. The other thing too is I want to say congratulations for the new person here that asked the question. And we want to see more new people asking questions.
okay.
Don't be
So-
shy.
Right. So getting back to this Kurt Platteeuw guy, Rosedale lost says, didn't the Pioneer birds fly about 3,000? Anyways,
3,000 miles
3,000.
in total.
Yeah, 3,000 miles last year.
Yeah,
Now,
from
Kurt-
training
yeah.
to stop.
From train to stop.
to the end.
Kurt's do around 4,500.
Okay, first of all, I want to salute you. Salute.
This is nice beer.
Now-
Cheers.
Take a look on the screen.
Look at the foam.
You see the nice head on that beer? That there is like, and this thing's been poured already for a minute.
This is good monk's beer.
Right.
Smell this.
If you go to Belgium and you don't have a head on the beer,
Don't
they
drink.
tell you, take it away.
And you never fill the glasses up.
It's perfect.
Cheers.
And nice glass.
There
Thank
you go.
very much. Nice color. And if your mustache doesn't have a head on it, there's something wrong.
Okay, that's the first one of these beers. Try it out. Enjoy. Oh, not a good beer?
Boy,
This is the Norman's favorite beer.
God,
And you got to have it in their glasses, too. And I got
this kind of glass. Cheers.
Cheers again. This is good stuff.
Ah.
Okay, so anyways,
Mm.
this man here, the way he works the pigeons,
That's a monk's beer.
he does the training. He does his regular training, his light training. He doesn't train heavy.
You loft flies.
He law flies. He trains them out to where he feels is enough, what he thinks they need.
Could be 30 miles, 50 kilometers.
Yeah, he could train them maybe 20 times,
And he
25
goes
times.
short.
Up, up, up.
Yeah.
And then he says the secret is here, they do a couple races.
Yeah.
You know, the short races,
Uh-huh.
get them out, you know, out, and then they hit them into that middle distance. And that's every week between 400 kilometers and 650 kilometers, 700. It goes back, forth, every week,
So 400 kilometers, that's 250 miles.
right? Up to 650, 700 kilometers. So that goes now, that brings them up to what? 350, 400 miles.
Yeah.
Up and back, up and back.
So up and back.
Yeah. Up,
Back to 250,
yeah.
up to 400.
Yeah,
Back.
up, back. He never rests the pigeons in between the races. The pigeons go to the race. When they come home, the next week they go. They come back, they go the next week. They come back, they go the next week. They come back, they go the next week. Back. Never stop. And he says there's a reason. When you stop a pigeon,
Mhm.
you ruin the chemistry in the loft. When a pigeon comes back late and he doesn't get back on that bike and ride that next day out, or that do all the competitions in the group,
Yeah.
he becomes stronger than the pigeons that stay in the groove. He becomes more rested, and he screws up the dominance in the loft. And the way he said this, the way his description of it
Mhm.
was, he said, it's quite simple.
Mhm.
I want almost no pigeons at the end of the year left. If I can do that, I'll have the right ones. And this
Well,
is how he was thinking.
I always say, if a person starts off with 50 youngsters and young birds, and he talks at the end of the season, I started with 50 and I have 48 left. I say, sorry, in my mind, you're not doing something right. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that can be, unless, you're not doing something right. You got to push them,
Right.
Responsible, and push them. I don't say take your birds and, a week before the race, you're going to start racing. Meanwhile, you haven't done any training prior, no loft flying and all that. I'm going to put them in the race. I'm going to knock out my team. I'm going to do this. Guess what? You're cruel. You don't know what you're doing. It takes at least 6 to 8 weeks to condition a pigeon.
But
Right.
Okay. We're talking, this is a professional, right? These birds, he's got them ready to roll. You can't.
I'm a professional.
You can't.
as well.
Yeah, you can't
Okay.
play this idea watching Major League Baseball on TV, watching that sitting on your couch. This man has them ready to roll, and then he gets on a system.
You're talking Major League Baseball.
Yeah, sitting
The
in your house.
the guy that's throwing the ball that you're watching.
You're not getting what I just said.
Right.
This man, he eats, sleeps, breathes pigeons. He ain't in his house watching television, thinking they're getting in condition. He's getting them in condition. When this type of man works these pigeons to do what he does, he's ruthless fair. He's not lazy ruthless. He's fair ruthless.
That's what I
That's
said
all we're
before.
saying.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. First things first, before anyone ships any birds to us anywhere, because I've had a couple people nicely just send birds.
Look at that. Still got head on it.
Can I talk instead of interrupting me on the goddamn head of the beer?
Oh, don't talk like that.
No, but you screw up where I'm going. Did you want to say anything else before I continue? Before anyone sends birds, take the time to call me. That's first rule. Give me a call. I don't care what the date says. People sent birds, not even to the right address. We post the address up, put the whole address on. And please, call me. Why? Tomorrow I could have a heart attack and be dead. Call me before you send your birds. Before I go visit every breeder, you know what I do?
You call him.
I call him. In the morning, I call him 2 days before. In the morning before I leave for his house, guess what I still do? I call him.
Yeah, because he could be in the shower or something,
He could have forgot. Anyways, is he flying between the races? Yes. Oh, of course. They have to keep working the birds through the races. Maybe not racing. Loft flying. Sometimes he needs a trainer in there. It depends on how they're exercising. But the birds work week in, week out. The birds, when the birds go out for a fly, all birds go out for a fly. He doesn't hold back. I found this man very interesting to talk to. He's going to be a great interview. I couldn't get the camera on because we had to just sit and discuss what we were doing. But that was a lot of fun. You have 50 young birds and end up with 48 at the end of the season. You must wrap them up in cotton wool. Yeah, you must have wrapped them up in cotton wool. Yeah, that's right. Gang one, Kevin, beans breeding mix. Not beans. I don't think I go with beans.
Go for breeding?
Yeah, maybe some peas.
Like soya beans?
Yeah, well, we talked about that. Don't do that.
No, I hear beans. No, I find ask me when to talk right now.
No, but and
I'm getting paid to say beans, soya beans. I got soya beans. We discussed this a couple of months ago. I have soya beans. When you're feeding birds that are pumping youngsters, don't put the soybeans into the mix. The old birds, all my soybeans are roasted, by the way. The old birds will get the soybeans. They love them, and then they'll start pumping them into the youngsters. And what happens is the soybeans, soon they hit the moisture, they swell up, and the birds become chucked hard with feed, and they're full, and the parents, they just don't give them enough moisture. But if you take those same soybeans and give them to your birds that are weaned, like let's say about 10% in the feed, they'll eat, they'll drink, they'll be fine. There's a lot of protein in it. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss. I think safflower is good when you're breeding. I think a little bit of the turkey grower pellet, medicated pellet, that's good.
Yep.
Easy breakdown. I think a little bit of peas is good. I think wheat is good. I think corn is good. Whole corn, the nice big shit, that's good. Barley is good. Okay, even the small black sunflower seeds with the shells, they're good.
When you're feeding young ones, not too much barley at this point.
A couple percent, a little bit in there is good.
That's right? And then also, I always put a bowl of in the corner of the box of my cat food. I always do that.
Yeah.
Right. Right now I find the special kitty cat food is cheaper than the Whiskas, and the percentage is 19% protein.
That's right. If that's what you like, go ahead.
Well, that's
again, you can do it in turkey grower pellets. You can.
Well, turkey grower pellets is 20%. I had to put that in.
If it was me, I'm going with turkey grower pellets. Forget the cat food. Why? I get more percentage, and I still get more bang for my buck.
I'm just saying, put a little container in the corner of your nest box with the cat food.
Why wouldn't you just give them turkey grower?
That's in the first feeding, in their feeding. Oh, Ryan, I'm not letting
Gang one, no big corn. I prefer big corn over small corn 100%. So yeah, I'm gonna go with big corn.
The thing is,
and I'll wean them on big corn. The biggest corn I can find. Because why? Once we learn to eat the big stuff now, that's where I get you at the end. Because in the end, I'm going to use the big stuff. And one thing I will say, pigeons and big, heavy reindeer corn. That there is full throttle, baby.
The thing is, if I could say something, is the small dent corn is easy for them to pick up, but it's small dent, and it what should I say? It doesn't digest as quick. It doesn't take small dent corn, popping corn, put it in a glass with reindeer corn or cow's corn, put that in a glass and see. The digestive part for the young birds, very important.
Well, there you go. And Mike makes a good point on your cat food thing. There's meat proteins in there. That's the same thing if you want to feel those little mealworms or
the
whatever.
other thing, too, is I'm going to leak out a little bit of secret on this, okay? That I didn't tell you folks before. But if you get the cat food with the fish inside of it, very good. And that's what I feed, but sorry, I had to leak it out now, okay?
Yeah, well, hey, Gerard Koopman, they feed in with the pigeons.
Yep.
All the mixes come with cheese. All the mixes come with carrots. And all the mixes come with sheep's fat. You know, all the mix. And he says, when the carrots and the cheese and the sheep fat's gone, we feed more. If it's not gone, no more feed.
Yeah.
That's a Koopman thing. Rosedale says, definitely, what did he write? Definitely like to assure vitamin and minerals and Burge yeast is made available to the breeders a few times during the week. Another thing is, I find that pink mineral, you can put it in the loft, that's good. Find another thing is, you can oil your feed, put the pink mineral on the feed a little bit once a week. I think that's a good way to give it as well. Burge yeast, sure, if you want.
You know what? Go to the drugstore and get Burge yeast tablets. Youngsters, every youngster, once he reaches about 10 days old, pop a Burge yeast into him, tablet.
If you have the time.
Well, you got to have the time. You're going to fly pigeons. Come on, you got to have time. And I'm saying it's so beneficial. Those little things that you do, it's going to make it that much better for your birds, right?
That's right. If you put the time in to do it, 100%.
It's all about time. Guess what? Hey, guys, I get up at 8 o'clock, or no, 7 o'clock in the morning. My birds are getting food and water at 8 o'clock. I go out there at 10 o'clock. I talk to them. I give them a little bit of more feed. I see how they are. I go out there at 12 o'clock. I talk to them. Boom, boom, boom. A little bit more. I go out there at 2 o'clock. I do this. Boom, boom. Talk to them. When I walk in the loft, I talk to them. I sing to them. I coo to them. They know me. I whistle to them.
Okay.
They know me.
Right.
Hey, wait. If you can't do that, if I'm doing that 10 times a day and you're doing it only once, it's going to be a little bit hard.
Right. That doesn't still mean you can't still compete.
Well, you can.
You can.
You can.
And another way, if you don't want to pop your birds with Burge yeast, you have the Burge yeast powder. You put it on the feed with the birds, and you give it to them that way. Saves you a bit of time.
Do you know what I like about popping birds with Burge yeast tablets?
Or cat food.
Do you know
Or a peanut.
Do you know what I like about that?
You get handling of your birds.
My birds individually
I know.
like me.
Well,
They individually know me.
Why
I'm sorry.
do you think I said that? Because I knew that's what you were going to say.
Right.
Small seeds digest well. Training young birds on big corn, no good. 50 diet to super. Well, gang one. That's why this show is the best. Because look what gang one writes. Small seeds digest when training young birds. Big corn, no good. 50-50 diet. Superstar Plus. Blow the skies out of fat. Blow the sky out. Bit of fats Thursday. I'm weaning them. I'm weaning them on big corn. The biggest corn I can find, that's what I'm weaning on. When I get them to eat the corn that's that big, right? That big. When I give them that small candy shit that's real easy to suck in, they mouth through that like butter. And then at the end, when I hit them with the heavy corn again, blows them right out. And this is what's so great about this. Gang one flies small seeds and fats.
So let me ask gang one. So you're going to feed on small seeds. How long do you do that for?
Well,
when you're going out to doing some work in the field, what I'm saying, flying, then what do you do? Do you keep feeding small seed?
I'm not flying on small seeds 300-mile races.
Gang one said
Right.
it feeds small seeds.
Small seeds and fat seeds.
And fat seeds like what? Peas?
I don't know.
Beans?
Small seeds. Shit, small seeds.
Right.
You
Okay.
know.
So when he gets out to 500 clicks, what does he feed? Small seeds before the race? The whole week before the race. What do you feed?
We were talking about raising young ones. We were talking about weaning them. We weren't talking about what we're feeding when we're racing, because every race is different. If you study your course,
Raising young ones in the nest and that. I
Right.
don't feed straight corn.
no, we didn't say. Did we say that? I didn't say that. I like a little bit of big corn in the feed.
Right, I do
Right.
that. Yes.
Big corn in the feed when they're pumping.
Yeah, 100%.
When you wean them, I don't mind. Wean them for 3, 4, 5 days if you want. Give them big corn. If you give them all the small shit, they will not eat the big shit. So we give them the big shit first. Let them eat the big shit.
Right.
Then we're going to give you the small stuff.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And however system you want to fly, you want to fly with small seeds, medium seeds, or big seeds. It's whatever you think.
The other thing too
That's
is you got to look at where you're flying, what your atmosphere is, temperatures. It all makes a difference.
Sure.
Okay.
Temperatures, heat, wind, tailwind, how many days you're in the basket, all that shit.
Okay.
It all adds up to how you feed. You don't feed pigeons out of a book, do you?
No.
It's on feel. It's on studying. That's what it's on. Anyways. Gang one, these will fly 500 miles on that corn and seed, no danger. You're going to fly 500 miles on it. You're using a lot of fat. Okay. I like fat and I like carbohydrates. That's what I like. Whatever way we put it into the birds, we put it in. What's the best animal protein for pigeons? You know, it's funny. Every time I talk to Xavier, he says he really enjoys it when the birds go out and pick the animal proteins on the lawn. Like, he likes that.
Well,
Same thing with the egg food.
You can buy bags of what do they call those? Those little bugs.
Yeah,
what do they call those?
Mealworms.
Mealworms. Bags of mealworms.
I've never tried it.
For pigeons.
I never tried
We
it.
haven't.
We've never tried it.
That's high protein.
That is high protein.
Well, that's why I'm feeding the cat kibbles, and I'm also giving the turkey grower pellets, certain amount, 20%. It beats like a pea. A pea is like 12, 14%.
Yeah, I like red cell. I like that on the feed. I use that more in the racing season. Red cell's good. Yeah, I like that very much. Breed and wean. He feeds the same thing, breed and wean. Again, and this is what's so great. Everyone does things different. I couldn't believe it. I was at Patrick Brooks. He said, "Hey, look, take a look at the youngsters I just weaned." Slid the door open. He's got the biggest corn in there, just straight corn. He says, "Why the big corn?" He says, "Whoever don't like the big corn,
Done.
in the garbage."
100%.
And I'm going to like, see, we talked to Emil Denny's. What does he say? The small stuff is good for looking in the bag, isn't it?
Well,
We like the big stuff.
I know. I think it was about 3 years ago. You and I went to Belgium, and Emil Denny's and I were shooting the shit about feeding.
I think you and him are brothers.
Yeah. I said, "Oh, that small seeds and all that." He said, "Yeah, it goes in, goes out."
Yeah.
That's
what he said. This is what's great about pigeon men. They're all different. Whatever way you do it, you've got to get fats into the pigeons and carbs. Forget the proteins, fat and carbs.
Well, you need proteins when they're growing.
Proteins at the beginning.
Yeah.
During the races, maybe a little protein the day after the race, a little bit of protein in there. It's fat, it's carbs. Fat and carbs. Oh, and you have to know exactly what time to shut the feed off. Turn the feed on, shut the feed off. You don't read it in a book. It's about feeling and playing. How many times do you feed in your loft? It all depends. You feed in the morning, you feed at night?
Myself, the way I am right now.
Oh, with the breeders?
Or whatever, birds.
Okay.
I'll go in and go into Takes me probably now about 4 hours just to feed the birds. I walk in, they look for me, I give them a little bit of feed,
Right.
and then I walk out, I go into another section, I give a little bit of feed, and I walk out and I come back and I call them, I talk to them, I go out, then I go back again, I call them again, I see the response, I give them a bit of feed, boom, boom, boom. I watch how they pick it up, I watch how they are, I go over there again, a little bit more, this section, a little bit, I give a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. I see how they act, I see what's left on the floor.
Right.
On the floor. You hear that? On the floor. That means I'm not feeding in a feeder.
Right.
Okay? I go in, boom. I see the response. I walk in, I whistle, I call, I sing. They know me. I see the response. If there's 20 birds in a section and only see 2 responding, I know the rest are happy.
Okay. And getting back to that, finish your beer, open this one. We'll try the other one. There's 2 we
Are
got.
these twist off or you got?
No, they're pop the tops.
Okay, so I got this.
I got this.
I got.
Ricky, I don't want you to have that on the show. That you can scare the
Jesus
audience.
Christ, I'm sorry.
No, finish your beer off. I'll pour you one.
Oh, look at that. Hold on.
Still got head.
Still got head on this Belgian beer from the monks.
Look at this
Look
one.
at this. Look at the color. Still, look. You can't get this here, man.
Look at this beer.
Oh,
Darker. We're getting
Ooh.
browner. Okay. Hold on. We got some comments, and I want to get back.
Thanks for the beer.
I wanted to get back to the questions. Feeding in races, you feed differently than you do in your breeding season,
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
100%. Oh, that's dark.
That's a darker beer.
Ooh.
Oh, here.
Okay,
So
hold on.
we're gonna try this beer out. We got some comments.
Take a look at the head on this, people.
Rosedale's got a comment.
That is super, man.
All right, now this one's
Oh,
the first one was 4% alcohol. This one is 7%. Again, the
Wow.
same set of
amount
monks.
people, monks.
Same set of monks. How would you call this? Chinamee?
Very nice beer.
Chimay. Chimay.
My parents are from Belgium, and my dad said, I'll give you an example. If you're an old person, I guess I'm old now.
Whoa.
I guess I'm old. But they say once a day, you should drink 1 stout Belgian beer, once like this. Beautiful, dark, 1 stout per person per day. Perfect for your system.
So
Take a look at that, folks.
nice. Try it out.
Oh,
So Rosedale Loft told, I was told by a very old flyer in the UNC, they used to give their youngsters a thing called first milk.
first milk. That's like I would have to
Like
say
mother's milk?
Mother's milk,
Well,
high protein.
Verstrada used baby formula. He soaks his feed in baby formula. That's one thing he does.
So I think this fellow's talking about the same thing.
Sort of
Very
the
high
same thing.
in protein.
Cat food made with fish and seafood, it will have high omega-3 value. Good job, Peebler. How many times do you feed in your loft? Multiple times. Gang 1 says, pigeons got reserve in the tank to fly on fat when the tank is empty. I never like flying birds on anything in the tank. I like to normally feed them, and I like to fill the tanks up, but when they get released, I like them to pretty much be digested through. I think Gang 1 and us are saying the same thing. Pigeons don't fly home with what they got in the crop. That's just that's called, what is that called? Filling the trunk up in the car and driving a load home.
Always remember that a pigeon has about 3 days of feed in the not in the crop. What do you call it? In the gizzard. He has about 3 days of feed in there. And if you look, we have pigeons because we have them. But take a look at let's look at a hawk or a wild bird, they can eat today. They don't have to eat now or find feed for 2 days. Then they're going to be looking for feed. You understand what I'm saying? So your bird is the same way.
Pretty much.
He can go
Well,
really.
that's why they got a crop, right?
So this is it. The crop, the gizzard. What should I say? So if you're preparing for a race, you really don't have to fill them up or half fill them, because he's already got a reserve in his system, right?
Right. And again, feed. Mike Vaniak says feed a good commercial winter mix. I think a winter mix, if you really want to if you want to get really dumb, you can basically feed. I hate to say this. The basic mixes that feed companies out there, like Van Roby's has, a winter mix, a race mix, a breeding mix. Pretty much those mixes will do it for people that don't want to fart around and make their own mixes. We don't really have the feed that we want here. I can't get the Van Roby's feed here just yet. We're using our own. We're having some fun going to the feed store, buying a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We have no, we're not feeding no commercial companies.
Okay, wait a minute, Ryan.
We're not at this point.
If I can interrupt you.
Go ahead, Ricky.
You know, I've had birds now for 62 years. So these commercial mixes, if I don't have them tomorrow, I will succeed.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Okay. I
Hold
will
on,
succeed.
hold on.
I know what to do.
My question
And,
is,
you know, the old saying is, I can give my wife an onion and a slice of bread. She'll make a meal out of it, a good meal. So what I'm saying is, you got to know, you have to have that chemistry
listen,
of stuff.
you look at a professional bodybuilder like Jay Cutler. I'll show you his picture
Take
after.
a look at myself.
Reminds me a lot of you.
Yeah.
He said, I beat everyone on eating. What did I eat? Chicken, rice, broccoli. Chicken, rice, broccoli. Fish, chicken, rice, broccoli. That's all. Plain, no salt, no nothing, no pepper. He says, don't go to the stores and buy the stuff that tasted better. He says, the old stuff. You can win all these pigeon races without commercial mixes. You can. But you got to know. There, Ricky. There.
Okay, good.
You all right?
I'm good.
Not
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
You know, you don't need the commercial mixes.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you do. Does it help? Sure. But again, the only thing I don't like about mixes is
Commercial mix.
on.
It's commercial.
if you want to know what a commercial mix does, go to a Chinese buffet and guess what? There's a commercial mix. You will not eat everything there. You will pick, I like the fried chicken. I like the cabbage, but he don't like the cabbage. I still like breaking down the feeds to a point.
But how many times have you gone to a Chinese place, real Chinese, and you see the workers, they're on their break, they're eating rice. They have a way with the chopsticks. They're eating rice.
Yeah. Cole, okay, so we got someone from the Philippines likes watching our show. Thank you. Enrique, I think is his name. David Tracy says, colostrum, which is milk cows produce for their calves. Yeah, and I've heard about this cow's milk. Again, I believe Xavier Verstrada, he takes baby formula, mixes it up, soaks the feed in the formula. Now, there's two things he does. He soaks the feed in the formula and feeds it.
It's like mother's formula, they call it.
He feeds it after it sits a whole night. He also lets it sit, pours the feed out, and lets it sprout. And he feeds that as well. He likes sprouting feed.
Yeah.
What's so great is there's so many ways to do it. Which way do you go?
Well, you're listening to Xavier. He's a top-notch flyer. So if you got, I'm saying, 12,000 flyers in Belgium, for example, what percent would you say Xavier is in that group of 12,000?
I would
Would
say,
you say top 5%?
top
10?
5%.
5 or 10%. So I think
He's a guy you'll listen to.
I think we should listen to something or try and absorb a little bit from this guy.
Oh yeah,
You know.
all the breeders that we go and visit, they're at the highest performing level in the world's real professional pigeon racing country. Rosedale Law said, noticed this place I get my feed from sells powders for cows. Again, you guys can try it. You're not going to hurt. Remember, anything that you overdo, the birds just shit it out, right? So you overdo.
Yeah, well, you don't want to overdo.
No, but I'm saying you overdo it. It's not good. You're wasting your money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, don't say I'm going to feed my birds solely cheese.
Yeah.
I chop the cheese. That's all they're going to eat is cheese. That's wrong.
No, and I take a look at Derek Walsh. Derek Walsh, another great flyer, goes and buys hard root vegetables, hard ones. Puts them through a juicer, blends them, grates them, whatever, soaks the feed in it, gives it. He says, anything from any of these pigeon stores you buy in a bottle, just go and expend it on vegetables, do a little bit of work, you get 100% gas from it.
I'd say something.
Or vitamins or
last year,
minerals,
two years
nutrients,
ago,
whatever.
we planted flowers around the house here. What were they? What do you call it? Begonias or something?
Begonias.
Right. Begonias in the flower beds here. Holy jumping. Let the young birds out there for, some guys say, I'll never let them touch the ground. I scare them off. But hey, that's the way I am. They ate all the begonias off in the back of the house. They ended up going over the front of the house. They ate all the begonias off, all the leaves, all the flowers, everything off. My wife Nancy was going, oh, this is terrible. Those birds, really, we should plant baskets or something for them
to eat.
For begonias. They were eating begonia leaves, flowers, eat the whole darn thing.
It's funny. I'm in Europe. They'll have the birds out. Not they'll have the birds out,
right.
But it's their time. The birds are out. Birds are on the lawn. The birds land on the guy's sheep.
Yeah.
The birds are picking on the eave trough. The birds are never had one guy say to me, got to get him off the lawn. Got to get him off of this. Got to get him off that. When it's time to race, those pigeons hit the board like thunderbolts. They allow the pigeons to be pigeons. I talked to a guy the other day. I let the hawks scare my birds. They chase my birds. My birds land. They sit in the tree all day. I says, that's not the bird's problem. That's you as the trainer's problem. You're training them. You don't know how to crack the whip. What did he say after talking to him for 5 minutes? When I got to kill birds, I have to call somebody to take them away. I have to do this. I can't do it. I can't back the feed off. Why? Because I'm soft. Right there, you'll never do it.
No.
You have to know how to control the army to a point, right? Play the army properly. That's another thing. People that can't knock their own. I hate to say it, but people that do stupid things with their pigeons to get rid of them. That really bugs me.
It's very sad.
There's a ding dong I know. I call him a ding dong, real ding dong.
Mm-hmm.
He has a show, right? That's a show.
Okay.
This is a show. Gets this face. Always in a show, right up at the camera. He bred a whole round of late breds when they were about 5 weeks old, 6 weeks old. He didn't have the heart to get rid of them. He didn't want them. He was a big man and bred them. What did he do? Took them to a field in Oshawa. Daniel did. Dumped them in the field. Let the coyotes eat them. Poor Daniel, eh? Just because your father was a pigeon man, don't make you one, does it? What do you think? Now, before we wrap this show up, you had 2 beers from the same company. Which one do you like better?
I like the one before. This is a little bit heavier.
A little richer, eh?
Yeah.
A little more meat
But
on this one.
Yeah. This is better for you too.
Now, this one's a 7%. 7%.
You can taste. It's a bit stronger.
A little bit stronger. What Kevin Burnett says, what you do to increase flight rate or speed?
Flight rate or speed? Speed.
Well,
I mean,
Boy.
what do you got? A headwind. You got heat. You got
Tailwind.
Different tailwind. You got.
I think speed comes also in your training methods of
The muscle tone.
well, when the pigeon comes out of the basket, he loses speed when he circles for 5 minutes, doesn't he? You want the pigeon to come up and go. Come up and go. You don't want him to come up and do this. Now, at the beginning, when you start playing with pigeons, this is normal. You need a bit of this. You need a bit of that. You need a bit of that.
But as we get out there,
Yeah.
as you get out there, when they circle, it could be respiratory problem, could be lack of education.
Mike makes a good point. Overdosing on fats and soluble vitamins can become toxic. Now, I have noticed, and Mike said this. I don't know. We caught it definitely in time. We used to use a bit of peanut oil.
Yeah.
You use too much peanut oil, they get the shits bad from it.
Yeah.
Not saying that peanut oil is not good. It's good. But do everything in
canola oil
huh?
works for me.
You like an oil, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
works.
any of the oils that you use, just don't overdo them. And
Linseed oil,
Yeah.
very good.
flaxseed oil, good. Peanut oil. There are so many vegetables, herbs, and other natural things that are good for pigeons. I learned about the stinging nettle about 10 years ago. Yeah. And it's funny, if you're outside and you pick some grass or you turn over, those young birds there for the one loft race, you'd be in the aviary, you haven't been out on the lawn. Cut out a chunk of sod and let them pick through it, they love it. Gang 1, training loft speed builds up. Peanut oils is good for. What is great about peanut oil, is you can get it into them a little bit better cost-efficient price with the peanut oil than feeding peanuts. I like to feed peanuts. I like to feed hemp seed. I like both those oils. Very good. Again, everything in moderation. Hold on. 1978, Baby Bear says, you got a good name. 1978, Baby Bear. What you think about basics? Just good pigeons, good feed, good loft. Put cheese and spoiled milk in a toilet. Too much overthink. Fancy? I think you hit it on the head. Basics is you can do the cheese and you can do all the fancier things. You got to get the basics right. You got to have a good pigeon loft that's for the pigeons, meaning it breathes good, has the right light, it's comfortable for the pigeons. The system you fly has to be a simple system that works not only for you, but the pigeons. And yes, you have to have racing pigeons, not pigeons. Had a guy say, you can offer people birds from my loft for a one loft race. Very nice. And it was cute, he said it. You don't even fly your pigeons. You don't send your birds out 10 weeks in a row. I hate to say it, sir. That's very nice that you offered that. But I want people to offer pigeons to people that are out there and working their birds. Let's get racing pigeons. Oh, but yes, the basics is first. Once you get the basics, then you add to it. Right? Then you add, you add the cheese and see, does that make a difference? You add the carrots, does that make a difference? You add the birch yeast, does that make a difference? It's tweaking. And it's the guy that tweaks and learns and finds the shit that works to the shit that don't work wins.
Well, the person that's doing this has to be on par as well. Right? Do you understand me?
And Mike,
that person
Mike
has
said
to
it.
be
Mike
on
said,
par.
Mike said
well.
it. Mike said it. It's so simple. Expertise is no more than the mastery of the basics. And that is right. The basics. The basics. Good pigeons, a good loft. But when we say a good loft, remember, it's not how maybe beautiful the outside is. It's not maybe how beautiful the perches are and how clean the floor is. It's a good loft for the pigeons. If the pigeons are in good health in it, the loft holds its good immunities. It's a good loft. Good pigeons, good system, good basics. You put that together and keeping it simple. I think people, again, still overcomplicate it.
Oh, yeah, a person that has a loft and they're lysoling the loft every day and have fans in the loft and they have all this stuff.
Well,
I'm sorry, but I don't know. I talk about my old friend. He's been gone now 40 years. His loft was so basic, wide open. It was like, and he was winning, doing great. Like,
but
nothing fancy.
The thing is that people don't get the basics. They'll do cheese and carrots in the feed, but they won't let the birds out for a loft flower. When they let them out, they won't watch them.
Yeah.
Or they won't change the water.
Yeah.
They change the water once a week. It's so funny. Patrick Brooks.
They missed little
the dumbest not dumb small things, the very most important small things.
Yeah.
Derek Walsh blowtorches his loft. The feeders, everything. He loves it clean. He loves it. He says, Ryan, I can't clean the loft enough. He's a champion of all Ireland. One of the best. He gets his birds from Patrick Brooks. Patrick has dry litter on the floors. Don't scrape the boxes out. He's bare minimal of any of that. Not that I don't have time. I like to watch the pigeons and sit on the chair. I don't scrape the pigeons. I don't fart around with that. It makes no difference to me. But you want to know what's amazing? Patrick wins with Patrick's pigeons. Derek buys Patrick's pigeons and he wins. The pigeons are good. What's the common thing there? Good pigeons. Hold on. Speaking of lights, yes, May told us about them. I want to get these lights. I haven't got them. I have to talk to them. I haven't got them. I'm not going to lie. I haven't got them. Don't you have to start lighting the system early in January? We got the lights on the birds. We're going to do some pulling, some cutting.
What are we talking about here?
No, Darren May has a lighting system. like not a lighting
Oh, yeah.
system. It's an ultraviolet light. Sometimes the loft is all blue.
Mhm.
Sometimes the loft is all red. You all right?
No, I'm just tired.
This beer puts you to sleep. Do you find it? I can feel it.
I'm enjoying myself right now.
We're on fire right now. Let me take this post off. Let me get back to the comments. But no, I haven't got the lighting system from Darren. I had to order it. It's about for us to get it. It's about 1,000, maybe. By the time I get here, 1,500. But it's different lighting. It changes. It gives the birds different vitamins. It's incredible.
Oh, it's like a plant growth.
Yeah, and they're using it in horse farms for racing horses.
Yeah.
It changes even the moods of the birds. Like I have to get Darren on to explain it, but it's interesting. Darren used it last year again. Great results. Yeah, so we're starting to accept birds now. I think we've got close to 50 birds in. Nice to see Mike Sheridan stop by. Mike, hey guys, if you don't have birds, go to your local auction, buy some young birds, put them in. Mike is going to do the best he ever did this year. You know that? He went and, it was kind of nice. He brought the birds over, and I'll say it again. You went through all the birds with Mike afterwards. I wasn't there, and you told me. You say, you know what? He selected a nice 8 pigeons, or 7 pigeons he selected were real nice. Mm-hmm. But you said the nicest pigeon you got was a gift from a guy. Guy just gave him a pigeon. And, that's where that little bit of luck comes in.
And that bird was bred out of Gallo Loft in Florida. And super chocolate.
Nice.
Got given to him. Mike went there. Mike was at the auction. And Mike said, Mike Sheridan has pigeon fingers. And he's son of Bill Sheridan, being a son, he watched his dad, and he listened, and he didn't even get told. He just listened by accident, and he learned to get the pigeon finger. So he went to the auction, and he's handling the birds. He picked birds out. This one fellow said to him there, well, what are you looking for? He said, I'm looking for, I want to select some birds for the one-loft race. And the man was so nice. He said, I have one. I'm going to give you one. Bred out of Gallo Lofts. Mm-hmm. And you can take this as a gift, put it in to wherever one loft you want. And Mike took it, and it's a damn nice bird.
You watch.
It was a gift.
You watch. It was given in the right spirit, and it was a nice pigeon, and that's nice. And I'm happy to see Mike back again. It's nice to see.
Tap me, boy.
There.
I'm gonna be okay.
It's nice to see a guy like Mike Sheridan that had pigeons at a time with his dad. He got out of them. He doesn't want to be fully committed into having pigeons, but he's out here. And you know what he's doing? He's still, there's now 5% of his life. Still a little bit of pigeons, or 2% or 3% or whatever he makes it,
hey, listen,
which is nice.
I'm going to tell you right now, Mike's probably around 50, maybe 45, 50.
Yes.
48, 50. The man has the pigeon fingers.
You said that. No,
I'm just saying, you're talking to a man. He can't keep birds where he is, but people are helping him out.
We are going to be in the New Jersey area at the end of April. I believe that's what I'm working on for a very specialty auction. You've seen what we selected already. How nice was the group that I showed you?
Super.
Aren't they nice?
Oh,
aren't they nice, eh?
You get goosebumps.
And wait, they wondered what's going to come to the auction. Yos, Goosen, Patrick Boakes, Sonia Vandermeulen, Eugene Stable, Geert Leander Munich, Verstrada, Dennis Sapin. Who else? Hold on, let it come to me. Stefan Steenberg, Anders Brobeck, Zolt Pinter, Annemie Van Hee, Annex Gochamp. Hold on, wait. Who else? And I believe the 13th. No, Fuchs, Wolf and Fuchs from Germany, Eddie Grugins, Darren May, Derek Walsh, and there's one more. The man, the long distance king, Emil Dennis.
Yeah, Emil Dennis.
What a lineup that is.
100%.
Isn't that nice? All hand selected pigeons. Us and the breeders, you guys are going to have a nice little taste of that. Someone said to me, Ryan, it's far, far too late to be buying pigeons at this time of the year. You know Pele? You know Wayne Gretzky? You know Tom Brady? You know Joe Montana? The reason why these athletes were so good was when they played the game, they weren't playing the game. They were playing 5 moves before that move that they were playing. Moving, seeing the future. The birds that you're buying today are for next year's breeding program. You bring them in, you settle them, give them time, and when November, December, January comes, they've got their boxes, they've went through their molt, and bang.
I never like to be in a rush.
No. And
rush.
And you know what pigeon men do? I love it. We send out 1 pigeon in a box. Little box.
Yeah.
Nice little box. 4 pigeon. Built 4 pigeon. Pigeon box. Mail it. Guy gets the pigeon. I don't get. Pigeon's a super. I don't get anything about the pigeon. The substance, what you bought. Do you know what I get? The pedigree didn't come. The pedigree didn't come. Chris Clarebot will say, take the pedigree, put it under where the bird sleeps at night. That's what the pedigree is for. It's for collecting the shit. When you get a pigeon, look at what you've purchased. We mail the pedigrees out. If it's a 1 bird, it gets mailed to you. If it's a 2-bird box, you get it with the bird. But it's so funny when I see people ask me about the pedigree. Do you know what I think in my head? You missed what you purchased. Alfred, we're doing good, my friend. I've got to go through those photos of your birds. I'm going to hopefully get to that next week. That's the man, Colm Van Zoren. He's got a new little loft. Hey, Alfred, if you can, for next week's family show, if you can take some pictures of your new small loft, your fun loft. It's amazing, eh? An Olympiad champion. He's got his little, you got to see this little cute. He's got the cutest little loft. He's having some more fun, eh? He got the itch. I want to see what you're doing. So please get us some photos so I can post those up. Can't wait to meet you. And do you know where you're going to be in New Jersey? You're going to see a post for it by the end of the week. Don't worry. You're not going to miss us. If it's New York, New Jersey, we're going to be there. And you get to meet Ricky. He's coming with us. We're going to take you for the ride. Frank Icorn, hello. Look at this. You can see Frank's kissing butt right now. Look at it.
Frank
just came on. Instead of saying hello to us, he said hi to Alfred. Hey, wait. Hey,
Frank,
wait.
he should be in
wait,
bed, man.
Wait. Ready? Hey, Alfred. Hi. Come on, Frank. You can't say hi to us. Hey, Frank, next time you come over, we're going to give you some real good Belgian beer. None of that.
Tell him to bring some.
Listen.
What's it called?
Chimay.
Listen,
if you want to really piss off a Belgian,
Yeah.
You take him Heineken. You take a Belgian a Heineken beer,
Oh.
he throws you out.
So Frank, when we go to Belgium, we're going to tell them You're Belgium.
Well, we gotta help him out. You know, though the problem is with Frank, he's too big. He looks like a goddamn Dutchman.
Shit, man. So he's going to have to walk in on his knees.
Yeah.
Then they're going to say he's a Scotchman.
Another thing I wanted to say, I want to thank the people that already sent us birds. Before you send us birds to the One Loft race, if you are American, I want you to call me. If you don't get a hold of me or Richard through text, phone call, or email, I don't want you to send the birds because I'm going to text you the full address. People are leaving out P.O. Box 313. They leave it all out. Call me because I want to know when your birds are coming. I want to be there. And you know what? Do it for the birds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, have a little respect for the birds. I think this was a good show tonight. Our first one back. Next week, we're going to start talking about more stuffed pigeons. We're going to have information on our auction coming up in the United States. Our first live event in the United States. So that's going to be fun. We're going to bring these world-class pigeons to the United States in a live event because I always think people should handle and view the pigeons and see what they like. You may come to looking at a meal Denny's, but you might fall in love with a Potent Lanen. Oh, that was another one I missed. Potent Lanen from the Netherlands. Alfred's friends. Again, the Clark Jansen-based pigeons. Nice pigeons. See, in Europe, they talk in meters. So his loft is 2 meters by 150.
Oh, that's like...
It's like
150. That's long.
No.
Meters.
His loft, you see this bar here?
Yeah.
It's not even this big.
2 meters wide, but it's 150 long.
No, 150 long. He's laughing. See, it's a joke.
Oh.
150 long. Listen, if Alfred went in the loft and put out his arms, he'd touch any corner that hits him. Don't suck up to nobody. Don't have to, says Frank. No, Frank, we're only joking with you. Wait, Frank. Anyways, guys, this was a good show for our first time back. Again, next Monday night we're going to be on again.
In a while.
Yeah, first time in a while. Let's see. Frank says, ha, ha, ha. Again, guys, get your birds in and think about what you're doing when you send birds to our race.
Hard them up.
Pick yourself an army. Come with an army. You do not pay until the pigeons hit 100 miles. They complete it.
It's roughly 30 tosses.
Yeah, between 30 and 40 tosses. And you guys know, you get 5 times to 2 miles.
5 times
you
2.
get 5 times 10.
5 times 10.
5 times 20. 5 times 50. Boom. A few 80s, and then bang, you hit it. But give yourself the army. Remember, you're going to lose them to sickness.
Always remember one thing. Before those tosses come, they're going to fly around the trees a few times. So,
and you want to know the best
hit a tree. Could be a hawk. Could be whatever.
Put it this way. Just think about this.
Mm-hmm.
You lose one bird to sickness. Everyone loses one bird to sickness. Everyone loses one bird off the loft. Everyone loses one bird when the birds are rambling away.
Yep.
That's 3 you've lost.
Yep.
Everyone loses 1 to 2 birds in training. You've already lost 5 birds. You know what? Guys, give yourself a small army. Anyways. We'll be back on next Monday night. We've been on for an hour and 24 minutes. Normally, after about an hour, I like to wrap these up because you know what? It can get a bit stale, and we don't want stale. We'll see you guys on next Monday. That's Ricky. You know who I am. I'm Ryan. We're accepting birds now. Give us a call. Americans, please call me, 416-990-0187, or...
From now, right till June 1st.
June 1st. We don't baby them. You can replace as many times as you want. That's Richard. I'm Ryan. Thanks for flying 100%. With us, guys.
100%.
Not 100, 200. Or maybe 300.
110%.
All right, guys. Bye for now.
Be good. Have a good one.